Hello, this is my TR, the last TR of the year. And today I'm going to be talking about the difference between Calvinism and Lutheranism. We've really been focusing on that this week. So basically I'm going to say what each of them is. So Calvinism is a major branch of Protestantism that follows the theological order and tradition of the practice of John Calvin. This was all during the 16th century, by the way. So that's what Calvinism is, and Lutheranism it's another major branch of Protestant Christianity, which identifies the theology of Martin Luther. So pretty much both of them express the same type of faith like Protestantism, but they each have different ways expressing and going about their faith. So yeah. And I'm going to talk about like how the 5 ways are different, 5 ways are the same, and then I'm going to say how it all ties back into the real world and how it has influenced us in a way. Okay. So one way that Lutheranism, differs from Calvinism is that different branches of Christianity started not because there was a council, but the religion was divided up, mostly because individuals who disagree with some teachings. So what that pretty much means is that people disagree with teachings from Calvinism, but they both believe the same thing, so they went to Lutheranism instead. So Martin Luther started Lutheranism as a protest against practices of the Catholic Church, while the founder of the Reformed theological movement known as Calvinism, it was made by John Calvin. He was a French theologian and son of an attorney. Fun fact, Lutheranism has one of the largest followings of any Christian Protestant church domination. The Lutheran identity is tied to being evangelical, sacramental, diaconal, confessional, and ecumenical. So that is that. And then the identity of a Calvinist is based on Christian ecclesiologically, the baptism of infants, and the 5 points of Calvinism, of a tulip doctrine. So basically, followers have to follow by this principle named tulip. And tulip is pretty much means total depravity, unconditional election, limited atonement, irresistible grace, and preservation of the saints. So pretty much like when When observing the Holy Eucharist, the sacrament that began at the Last Supper, the Lutherans believe that the blood and the body of Jesus Christ are physically present in the wine and the bread during Holy Communion. So kind of what we think in a way. Whereas Calvinists, they maintain that Christ exists within the elements in spiritual rather than physical form. Lutherans teach that salvation is possible for anyone through faith, whereas Calvinists place a higher importance on the belief that only people who are predestined by God can achieve salvation. So pretty much what that means is that Lutheranism believes that if anyone does right by God, follows his orders and everything, should safely have a spot in heaven, no problem. Where Calvinists, they believe that not everyone will go to heaven. Like when you were born, and you did the right thing, you were already predestined to go to heaven, no matter what. Like nothing could stop you from doing that. Anyways, next, Lutheranism teaches that people have the ability to control certain parts of their lives, while Calvinism believes that God is a complete sovereignty over humanity, and there's nothing that people can do to change what happens. So basically what that means is that Lutheranism thinks that it states that when you are born onto this earth, you can do whatever you want, no matter what. Like you were born in this earth to make your own decisions, and you would choose to follow God's will to have a spot in heaven. Where, on the other hand, Calvinism sort of has that approach where it's the predestined approach where, hey, before you were even created or born, He's got a plan for you. He has a predestined plan, planned out that focuses your life, what you were going to be, what you were going to do, how much you were going to believe in God, and if you're going to go to heaven due to the predestined life that God selected for you at the start. So that's pretty much the difference between Calvinism and Lutheranism, the big changes. Now I'm going to tell you just stuff on how it all ties in, and how both of these types of thinking really inspired how some places think about like how it's influenced us. So what's really interesting, and I was shocked reading about this, is how Calvinism influenced capitalism. So in our society, the ideals of capitalism and Calvinism often intervene. It's hard to imagine either philosophy without flourishing. So pretty much how it all relates back together is it talks about the capital. Well, I'm just going to say what capitalism is first of all. So capitalism is a system in which the country's trade and industry are controlled by private owners or profit rather than by state. So pretty much how it kind of relates into each other is that God controlled the life privately, as of where Lutheranism, like you can control whatever you want. But pretty much what I guess how capitalism and Calvinism come together is that they, like, you're predestined to do a certain thing and you have to live by it. But yeah, that's pretty much the difference between Calvinism and Lutheranism. And yeah, this is the last TR. Thank you.